threat that has developed. I admit it's a lot lower. We are still going to have a massive multi-scale severe weather tornado outbreak to our south. That's going to be super bad and that's going to cause a lot of damage. But for now, we are tracking the storms for the Tennessee Valley. And it's not like there's nothing to talk about because there's stuff to talk about. All right. And just to kind of show you, I'm going to go to our SPC. Let's go to 1. And as you see, we have this big high risk. Though I don't think this is going to come to fruition, really. I don't think this disease is very deserving of a high risk. Maybe further south, or even a moderate risk. However, I'm going to dive into this. So we're going to go to HTX. The only reason why I'm live right now is because, as you see, there's a lot of rain. And some of this rain is severe warned. So you have to talk about this. Really, this is not much of a threat at all. However, it could develop into one. Higher threat is north of us. Definitely a lot of rain out ahead of whatever develops. And even rain behind that. There's just a lot of general rain. But, like I said, anything could happen. And there's this little storm over here. Your ARAB. There's this one right here. Maybe a little curvature on that. A lot of this is rotating, but it's so messy that really it's not really much of a threat at all. So I'm going to go into velocity here. See if there's any strong winds. I do see a stronger wind signature. Like I said, severe thunders. There's a little bit of rotation back up in here. That could warrant a tornado warning. I don't think so, but it's a possibility. Like I said, atmosphere in Huntsville, Alabama, mostly untapped. That is going to soon change. There's a bunch of rain that's about to move in. So just be ready for that. The highest threat seems to be well off to our south. And for that, I'm going to use BMX. Because can't forget about you guys. There's some violent supercells down here. Some bad ones. So you have all your rain up here. And some stronger storms, especially this one that's moving into Russellville. But overall, the storm that I would be worried about right now, that I am worried about, it's a little bit of a radar hole, but you can sort of see it down here. All right. Kind of rule, but definitely producing a tornado. I'm sure we'll see that on correlation coefficient. And there's definitely debris in the air. So let's go to DJX. Get a more complete look at this thunderstorm. Can't see too much on that. Obviously, TVS is popping up. All right. Let's switch back to radar. And like I said, this place in Mississippi has been pummeled all day. There's probably a debris signature right here. And that seems to be what it is. By supercells all day, this place has been pummeled here in Mississippi. And you're not done yet. Here comes a cold front. But before we set our sights on that, you're going to look at this thunderstorm here. Near Bay Springs, Mississippi, I'm seeing particularly 2 areas of rotation. The first is pretty obvious to me, right in here. And the second would be just to the south of that. So there's definitely something going on right in here. Yeah, pretty strong rotation, and then one to the south of that. So definitely a supercell that needs to be monitored that is rotating near Bay Springs. I don't think it's touching the ground. Could be, though, but I don't think it's touching the ground. Yeah, here it is coming up towards. Yeah, almost a violent tornado. This one over here is not as concerning, but it is concerning nonetheless. So I'm going to switch to velocity on this one. Maybe a little hook right back in here. And there's a little bit of rotation with it. But big surge of wind here. Might be going outflow dominant. It's near Marion, Mississippi. So if you're in Marion, Mississippi, just get to your safe spot. There's also this, it's so weird. Like, GWX is obviously an important site right now. There's definitely some interesting thunderstorms popping up here on DJX. I mean, there's some to watch. as these storms kind of converge against each other, some really sketchy stuff could happen. Like this could actually start to make a more organized thunderstorm by the time it gets here. That's about the worst risk. There's a lot of storms that are trying to be supercells. Some of them are achieving that, but not in a very big way. I think that even this Russellville storm isn't that strong. The strongest storm I see on this particular radar scan is the one here, which, like I said, is producing a large tornado right now. Very scary looking storm. You can kind of see that hook back in this particular supercell, and then the tornado warning stacked along that. Switching to reflectivity here. Take a look to see if anything's happening inside this particular thunderstorm. Looks like it's buffering a little bit. Did change my radar, but did not change the image. Even drag this around. Reload everything. Definitely some inflow coming. I can tell it's rotating. I just need this velocity. Switch to velocity pretty clearly, and it's not switching. All right, here we go. And there's definitely some very strong rotation here, even some inversing. So probably a pretty big mesocyclone. Might be on the ground, might not be. I would stay weather aware. Definitely a very big mesocyclone. Got a new update coming in, so this would be one of the worst times to switch to reflectivity. Now the whole thing is spazzing out. But let's see if it can do it. Yeah, we got back to reflectivity. I'm going to reload this. Let it spaz out for a little bit. Or just clearer air mass that's developing in here, as well as this supercellular thunderstorm over here south of Hamilton. But this thing again is tornado warning. And that tornado warning could go to Madison County. So if you live in Madison County, I'm going to have a conversation with you right now. And that is that likely if this storm continues and even develops some rotation on the southern side, there's a lot of merging. I see a lot of different storms, thunderstorms that are coming together here. If we start to see organization, you could get sirens to go off here in northern Madison County for this particular thunderstorm. For that, we're going to switch radar sites. This is a warning that's in the Tennessee Valley, so I'm going to look at it. There was some earlier, but I don't think they were that concerning. Neither is this one, but then again, I'm doing this one. So it's just so much rain. So it's had a very difficult time breathing. Especially it's been cut off from this warm southerly air. However, it does seem like there's a lot of merging going on. And over here, your atmosphere over here is still mostly good. It's somewhat alive, especially here near Scottsboro. Probably the highest risk in the Tennessee Valley will develop in Scottsboro in this area because they likely, at least even like down here, they won't get touched by all of this. They'll just get a line later, and then that has a higher chance of being tornadic than this mess. Like, I mean, this is a mess, but we're going to go in here. We're going to take a look at this tornado warning for Athens. And actually, I think I can get an Athens camera if I'm lucky enough. So let's see if we can do that. This is WFF Weather Camps. This is that local TV news station for this area. I feel like there's a lot of rain going on. Limestone's also going to have a view of it, but Athens, it's rain. East Limestone, which one do I want? Do I want East Limestone, East Limestone too? Go this one. I don't know what direction it's facing. There's definitely a lot of rain with this thunderstorm. Like I said, a tornado warning. So if there were to be a tornado, it would probably be behind this. See, it's moving very quickly. Maybe somewhere back in here. I'm not too sure what direction this is pointing. The second East Limestone camera, same type of situation. Not really much going on. Space and Rocket Center should have a view of this. It's facing the right way, and it is. And there's no view. It's too much rain. If there is something here, it's so rain wrapped, you're not going to see it. Memorial Parkway. Probably not a view of that. Athens, which is the camera that I wanted to use, doesn't seem like it has a good view. There was some movement with this camera. So we're going to look. Obviously, whatever news station is controlling this is trying to turn it. According to them, it should be somewhere in here. All right, even though I think it's over here. No, it could be here. It's so difficult to tell. You're not going to be able to tell on this. There's not an incredible amount of energy either. It's just a storm that's kind of happening. You know, I was putting out crazy forecasts for this because that was the idea, and that doesn't seem like that is coming to fruition. Though I'm not going to call it quits yet, because if these thunderstorms are able to converge in the right way over in this area, and it doesn't look like they're doing so, but if they do indeed get somewhat organized, like literally in any way, you could have a issue with this. So let's zoom in a little bit and see what we're dealing with. You have powerful thunderstorm. Is there a tornado with this? There could be. If there is, it's somewhere in here. Maybe even up back in here. Yeah, and I think that's what's going on is it doesn't seem like it's there anymore, but if it was, it would be right here. Let's see if I can prove that right there. It might literally just might be in the center of the thunderstorm. Because it included. No, it's where it would be. Just so much thunderstorms out ahead of it that it's not going to be able to survive. And it looks like this warning was probably just going to get replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning. A little bit more of a squally weather up here. But I don't think this weather is too concerning. There is a isolated, super isolated severe thunderstorm warning in Indiana. So we're going to use IWX. Only have had to use this once or twice this year. Well, yeah, there's definitely some supercells developing out here. And this one does look significant. Definitely having a little something there on the south side. Overall, just a strong thunderstorm. But yeah, your risk here is probably just going to go up because you're getting more isolated thunderstorms. I'm pretty sure with something like this, the National Weather Service wouldn't skip on a mesoscale discussion. All these obviously isolated rotating thunderstorms out here. Look at this one. So we'll see. Like I said, just the reason why we're not having a massive tornado outbreak everywhere is because of rain cooling. This storm, is that purple? It continues to look extremely concerning. Definitely a more longer track supercell thunderstorm occurring here just south of Aliceville. Right on, I forgot what river this was, but definitely a pretty violent tornado. I'm sure that'll correlate with correlation coefficient, which is one of these. That one. Let's see if it occurs with correlation coefficient. That does not seem like there might be something in there, but there's just a lot of artifacts. I don't think I would be able to tell with all the artifacts. Like, there's definitely a stronger thunderstorm there. Big tornado warning in Mississippi. Let's go take a look at that. Take a look at DJX. Yeah, there's definitely a messier storm mode. This is more of a actual squall line. Like, we haven't had an actual squall line in a while. This is like an actually strong squall line. But I think that strength will only reside itself in Mississippi. Lost its tornado warning. This one, the National Weather Service apparently has high confidence on producing a tornado for a long time. And I'm seeing this nice RFD, FFD, streamwise vorticity current, inflow. Definitely a lot of supercell features on this particular thunderstorm. We're going to switch to velocity. To confirm that, it would be just on the southern flank near Seminary, Mississippi, and College, Mississippi. Brennan. Easy to identify that area of concern. I want this to switch to velocity. Hate it when it does this. You know what? Just for this, I'm going to switch to quad pane radar. Why not? You have a little bit of a lull. Let's go quad pane radar. And the whole thing just crashed. But now I'm going to get my products one way or another. And I see why the National Weather Service is saying that there's definitely a stronger tornado over here. But it took a long time to get that information. Let's get reflectivity up and running on this. Right now it has this super low resolution reflectivity. I want high resolution for you guys. All right, there it is. Next, this one. Slick radar 2. We're going to go with the velocity on that one. I'm happy with the vertically integrated liquid. Or I don't think this is special differential phase. Yeah, like a super strong tornado back in here. Super strong. Mississippi has just been ravaged by these today. Honestly, just ravaged. Like, with the debris signature and everything, it all correlates. Definite tornado there. Take shelter if you're in that tornado warning. Like I said, my viewing area is the Tennessee Valley, as I call. So this is just a disaster. There's just so much clutter. One of the most disorganized tornado warnings I've ever seen. Like I said, though, looks like a big storm's trying to come out of this. If that is the case, if that successfully happens, we could be dealing with a more dangerous thunderstorm moving into Madison County. Especially if I start seeing an outflow boundary, which I think is what I'm just starting to see. So we're going to stay on this. This looks pretty concerning. I don't think that tornado one. Honestly, if you're in that, I would get out of your safe spot. There's nothing there. It's not looking like that. It's looking like just wind. So I'm a little curious why that tornado warning is still out. There is this storm down here, McMullen Cove, that has this super long look to it, and it curls back here. Now it's rotating, but these are the storms where if it's rotating, like, also, why is there just not a tornado warning on this thunderstorm? It's obvious tornado with that thunderstorm. No clue. Oh no, is it the ones that it's this one? Okay. Yeah, that one's correctly warned. We're gonna continue to watch this collaboration of heavy rain. I think that this could become a hail threat, because definitely a big hail threat here, and it might start hailing. But I'm waiting for some mergers here to get completed. There's just some updates coming in. I'm waiting for some of these mergers to get completed, and I think something weird's starting to happen here. It looks like a big blob of precipitation. Yeah, it does, but it's moving into a relatively unstable environment, which is Madison County. And so is this. So is this little noodle storm down here, which is one that I'm watching. But super weak. Overall, though, there's definitely almost like this triple point of convection and a secondary area of rotation developing on the southern flank of this. So we're going to move in here. Close in. You can't even see it, but I can see it. There is a hook right in there. When you have convection that's just this significant, you gotta watch. You gotta watch for stuff like this, because this can start getting more and more organized. And that's going to be one of the things that'll help out the storm, is that with so repetitive conversions like this, it's going to be difficult for it to weaken, because it's just a diabolical conglomeration of a bunch of rain.
Heavy precipitation has been detected near your location.
Thank you. Some alerts going off. Yep, I would say there is some heavy precipitation near my location. My location isn't here. It's somewhere else. Not gonna say that. But I'm still watching this for Huntsville and Madison because I know people who live here. It's just it's looking weird. Definitely a lot of storms that are just flying up into this. And this noodle storm. Also, there's this in the back. I don't know. It's super difficult to tell what's going on. Super difficult. Like, that's just an old tornado warning now. I'm sure it'll expire in a little bit. Just a lot of convection moving into the area. This is able to get any more organized than it already is, then that could become a threat. So we're going to watch for that. And it seems like we're getting bigger updraft to develop here. Hold on a second. Oh, let me go. Just look at that radar image. Yeah, so tornado warning as expected canceled. It's just a super big conglomeration of a bunch of thunderstorms here. So what is taking place? I think that it's just gonna be severe thunderstorms from now on. Tornado threat is gone. And gone like the wind. After this moves through, And for our friends in Nashville, there is a tornado warning near there. A lot more instability for some reason ended up being in Tennessee, which literally makes no sense at all. But they are having a dangerous situation out here with a tornado alert. Like for tornado. Which just is unbelievable to me. But it sits here, and there's definitely some gradients with it. Murfreesboro, Tennessee, you want to be in your safe spot. But I'm not really seeing too much rotation with that storm. Not even a TVS, but definitely a stronger thunderstorm. And you think, oh, there's a big line of thunderstorms moving through. Look at all these severe thunderstorm warnings. But there isn't. It's just a bunch of rain. And it's an overwhelming amount of rain. And we'll be covering it here today. There's this little finger here. Fayetteville. Looks a little interesting. Definitely some rotation with that. Overall, this looks super weak. Does it look very organized? This is, by the way, you might be thinking, oh, this is a debris signature. This is just some, it's what we call an artifact. It's just some radar thing there. Big convergence of just rain. I wouldn't even say that this is severe limits. Usually for severe limits, you'd see a pretty good bowing segment. And then the National Weather Service would issue a warning for that, but it does not seem like that is the case. It said there's just a lot of thunderstorms. I can tell you from personal experience, this atmosphere is extremely buoyant. However, it is being used up right now. That's about it. Doesn't seem like very much else is happening. We will move south though. BMX, that storm is still advancing. And there's a lot of talk when it was first warned of, like this storm has a serious chance of impacting Tuscaloosa. And I wouldn't doubt that yet. Tuscaloosa is at least close to this thunderstorm. And it seems, I have some good news. It seems like it's not producing a tornado. No, it still is. Yeah, there's still a tornado in there. It's just a super strong thunderstorm. North Fort, Alabama, you need to be in a safe spot. Super duper duper nice looking supercell with a big hook echo. A beautiful storm on radar, but not really a storm that needs to be messed with. Probably our last look at DJX because there's literally nothing for me to cover. The severe weather outbreak is that minuscule. It's not really doing much at all. But DJX is a good view of this concerning thunderstorm. I'm seeing a lot of inversing of the radar here, which is not a good sign. And there's definitely a very strong tornado probably on the ground with this. It's just south of Collin, Mississippi. Called them out earlier. Let's see if I can call some warnings out before they even happen. So I bet you that this storm right here will become a very serious threat in the coming hours. I'm not going to call a warning on it, though. I'm not going to make a risk like that. Like I said, line of thunderstorms behind that. Let's check the GWX to get a better look on that line that's coming in. Getting some more alerts. Yeah, just a line of thunderstorms out here. It's not really that intense. Mainly monitoring. There's a storm here that's very concerning, but it's in this huge radar contamination thing. It's moving up towards Haleyville, getting your safe spot. We're going to call a warning for this before it even happens. Even though I can't even see the area of rotation, we have to do something fun because nothing is going on. South of HTX. Have they gone without the severe thunderstorm? No, there's still those naggy severe thunderstorms warnings. It's kind of splattered out in through here. Really, the National Weather Service here just needs to cut to the chase. This needs just to be a rain warning. Just a flood warning. There's not a lot of instability out in front of us. Still could be some hail though. Let's see if I have anything for hail. And do you have any radars for hail? Let's see. So get vertically integrated liquid, which probably is what's down here. Got a new scan? Yeah, it's the same thing. All right. Let's look at composite reflectivity. Hasn't loaded all the way yet. I think composite reflectivity will really help us out here in determining the strength of this thunderstorm. Doesn't seem like that is going to come to fruition though. Let's change it back to our reflectivity. I don't think I'm gonna have to use drawing tools for this, honestly. I would hardly call this a severe weather day. It's not even an outbreak. This is just rain. Rain with a different name. Question is, will they extend the severe thunderstorm warning? Probably not. Our Space and Rocket Center has to get a view of this by now. So we're gonna finish off with a view. First, a L dot dot L dot. I mean, I'm really not seeing much. Except for my WAFF. Not seeing too much in the way of severe weather. Decatur has a creepy view of this weird looking base of something. What is this? What is this? This looks concerning. I don't even know what it is. For that, we're going to use weather.us. Like I said, I've been forecasting this for days, and it's some pretty heavy rain right now. It's probably with that skimpy thunderstorm. Wait for this to boot up. Yeah, Decatur is here. It's not really just looking at nothing. Yeah, this is really just rain. This radar, though, it's going to have an interesting view of the Tuscaloosa storm that continues to be bad. But overall, this was very underwhelming. Just Decatur's having this super concerning view of nothing. Looks like a supercell with this. Maybe in a wall cloud, but there's nothing there. There's no rotation. It's just super concerning looking. Space and Rocket Center is getting slammed right now. We'll see how fast those winds are there. Not fast at all. It's just rain. One that could have a view of something is at Gunnersville. You have a view from the storm from far away. All right, we're turning. And there's our thunderstorm. It's not very strong. Athens is getting slammed. East Limestone already got hit. Yeah, just watch out for rain for the rest of the night and flooding risk. That's about all I can say for the Tennessee Valley. Before I go, because I will go, because there's nothing going on right now at all. I'm going to look into the far future to see what we may find. This is just such an incredibly underwhelming event. Literally, basically nothing happened. It's 159 hours out. It's pretty close. Storm system of some kind. Just a skimpy little system. The euro, come on, let's get. Before I go, I'm gonna look at the chat. Oh. Alright, I'm just gonna leave. You shouldn't be in a tornado shelter. It's not looking like there's gonna be any tornadoes.